Hi guys, welcome to Simplifying Tech in Programming. So in today's session we are going to check how we can tag the Docker images, then how we can push the Docker images to Dockerhub, and how we can pull that image from Dockerhub to our local machine, and how we can run that image on the local system. Okay, so this is a common workflow. So we have a input as a application runnable file, so we can choose any language. Currently we are developing applications via Spring Boot, so we have to create application via Spring Boot jar file. Then we have to add the Docker configuration via Docker file, that is a Docker image and application running command. Okay, so build that application by using Docker file, and whatever the image that is created, so that image we can push to Dockerhub. So Dockerhub is like a platform similar to GitHub, where we can store multiple images or our images into some particular cloud storage or something like that. Okay, so we can push the images to Dockerhub. Then whenever required, so we can pull the same image, or we can pull the available images from the Dockerhub, and then we can run into our local system via Docker container. So this we are going to see. So moving further, we can see one more diagram where we have divided this into our according to the environments. So this Docker file is a project source code. Then we can build that source code and convert that our project runnable file into Docker image, and then this Docker image supported by Docker container on top of virtual machine, and we can push this Docker images to Dockerhub. Then via Dockerhub we can create multiple containers according to our environments. So that is the dev, UAT and production, or a staging environment, that is UAT environment, or we can create the COB environment, that is like a backup of production server. So this way Docker, this is a Docker particular use case where we can use this application as per our environment. So let's start the practicals. So first we need our Dockerhub to be running on our local machines. So we in previous sessions we have covered how to install Docker desktop and how we can create the Spring Boot application by using Docker. Okay, so we can start this Docker desktop. So you are looking for how to install the Docker on Windows system, then you can refer my earlier videos. Link is provided at the top right corner. Okay, so our Docker desktop is starting. So meanwhile we can understand this application flow, where in previous session, so we have created a Spring Boot Docker image by using OpenJDK. So we are taking the base example from there, and we are using that image to push that image into Dockerhub, and then again we will pull and we will run this into the container. Okay, so our Docker is starting. So meanwhile we can create the Dockerhub account. So go to your favorite browser and go to Dockerhub. So in order to use Dockerhub, we need to create our account. So go to hub.docker.com. okay, so this is the Dockerhub homepage. So here accept all cookies, then getting started today for free. Okay, so click here on register. Okay, so here it is popping up, create Docker account. So put the username. So I am putting username as a Simplifying Tech. Okay, then put the email. Okay, give the password. Go to sign up. Okay, so our account is created. So it is asking for login. So put your username. Okay, so we have logged in as a Simplifying Tech. So now it is asking for this, so we don't need to worry about this. So just we have to continue as a free. Okay, so meanwhile let's see if Docker desktop is started. Yeah, so Docker desktop is started. So now we can choose our local image. So go to cmd. Okay, so our command prompt is open now. So let's verify if Docker is running. So Docker minus version. So we have Docker version. So now let's see what all images are there into our system. So let's say give command as a Docker and images. Okay, so here we can see the Spring Boot Docker jar that we have created earlier, and then we have hello world also. So we will use this Spring Boot Docker jar. So first we have to log into our Dockerhub account. So we have already created Dockerhub account. So it is asking to verify your email address. So go to your email address and verify it. Okay. Okay, so our Dockerhub account is verified now. So now let's log into Dockerhub. Say Docker and then login. Okay, so it is asking username. So give username. Give password also. Okay, so we have to re-enter. So Docker login. Give username in small case. Okay, so our login is succeeded. So now just we need to tag this image with your Dockerhub username. Okay, so here just we have to mention Docker tag and this to this with your username. Okay, so this tag is basically so we suppose we want to create multiple images as per environments. So by using this tag, we can clone our application, or we can use this naming convention to identify our application. Okay, let's enter. Yeah, so our tag is created. So now we just need to push the images to Dockerhub. So currently in the Dockerhub we don't have anything. So let's push the image. So let's say Docker push this image. That's it. Let's enter. Yeah, so it will take time according to your network speed. So you have to wait until it is finished with the uploading.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, so our Docker images is pushed. So if you observe, it is retried because it is got timeout, because this file size is a 321 MB. So if you got timeout, so please try again. So keep trying, so it will get success. Okay, so in my case it is uploaded. Let's verify on the browser. Okay, so you can see in the repositories, so we have Simplified Tech Spring Boot Docker.jar. So last pushed 3 minutes ago. Okay, so now let's click on this. Okay, so you can see this tag is latest, then type image and 3 minutes ago. Okay, so now what we can do, so we can pull this image now. So this is Docker command for pushing this file. So now we have to pull this image. Okay, so you can see this docker pull command is there. So copy this. It is simple, just docker pull and whatever the image or tag name. Okay, so go here. Before that, like we have to remove this. So docker images. Okay, so we have to remove the existing one first. So let's say docker rmi and the image name. Okay, so this is untagged now. So let's verify it again. Say docker images. So you can see that tag is gone now. So now just execute this command. So we want to pull this docker image. So docker pull and simplifying tech spring boot docker.jar. So let's enter. Okay, so our pull is success. Download a newer version of image. So let's verify it. Say docker images. So you can see it is again it is downloaded. So previously it is not listed. So again it is downloaded. So now just we have to run this. So we pulled this image into our local system. So we have to run it now. So docker run -p, provide the port number 80808080. So this is like a docker port number, this is application port number, and whatever this image name. Okay, let's enter. Oh, invalid prototype. Oh, okay. So we have to just add the colon. Yeah, so you can see our application is getting started. So Spring Boot application is starting up. Okay, so our Tomcat is started on port 8080 and our application is also Spring Boot Docker application is also started. So now let's run our application. So go here, so type localhost :8080 and our REST API endpoint is like hello docker, hello docker. Let's enter. So we got welcome to Docker application by Simplified Tech. So our pull image is get a success and we are able to run this image. Okay, so this way we can able to push the images into Dockerhub, we can able to pull the images and we can able to run this image into our container. So it depends on a particular environment also. So if you want to, yeah, so we can create multiple environments, like we can create staging environment, production environment, and whatever the additional environment you want. Okay, so this way, like by using Dockerhub, we can able to run the Spring Boot application or any Docker based application. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. So stay tuned for further interesting sessions and please subscribe the channel. Thanks a lot.